Maybe the FBI should stop trying to find every case of sexual harassment in the White House, and maybe they ought to give up on this ridiculous pursuit the Russians colluded with Trump on the election. But clearly, this is my point. A lot of people knew. A lot of people had every bit of knowledge they knew to act on this guy, to surveil this guy. You know, we're told, well, we can't do anything until the crime's been committed. That's what has to change.
The accused Florida school shooter, with his head down and his eyes on the floor in court for a status hearing just a few short hours ago. He joins a shocking club whose members include the Boston Bombers and the Chelsea Bomber. Each one had brushes and interaction with the FBI and a citizen who did what they were supposed to do and blew the whistle. But they got away and they killed and injured innocent people. So Ron Hosko joins me now, former assistant director of the criminal division of the FBI. He has 3 decades of experience working for the agency that he dedicated so much of his life to. Ron, it's good to have you here tonight. Thank you very much for being with us. To that charge, and the president made a similar claim, that there's too much focus on Russia and some of these other things and not enough on the basics at the FBI, and that the agency has become politicized. What do you say?
You know, Martha, the FBI agent workforce is somewhere between, I think, 12 and 13,000 people. That's roughly a third the size of the New York Police Department. What does the FBI have to cover with those numbers of agents? International investigations that include counterterrorism, counterespionage, thousands right there, cyber and criminal cases ranging from public corruption to gangs to violent crime to white-collar crime and fraud. And they have to do that on a global scale. So that's a lot to do. And I understand the political rhetoric that's going on, and a lot of it directed at the FBI right now. But we're talking about very few resources compared to the size of the agent workforce that are devoted to support Bob Mueller right now, that were devoted to support the Hillary Clinton investigation. I don't think that politics is dominating what the FBI does. I think it's a very, very small part of what they have to do.
I understood, and well taken, your points. But when people listen to what happened here, they say, how can a school expel someone, right? His name is in some sort of public database for the school system, I'm sure. This kid has been expelled. Then you've got the FBI. You've got someone who clearly reaches out, says he has a gun, he has motive, and we know from the previous time that the FBI was contacted that he wanted to be a school shooter. Why is there not an alarm bell that goes off, that those databases talk to each other and they say, wow, you know what, we need to go check this out? Or if the FBI is too much on their plate, call the local law enforcement and say, we put all this together. You guys need to do this, because this can't happen, obviously, and I'm sure it kills you that this happens.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, this hurts all of us, current people working for the FBI, and those of us who have spent our careers there. It is a catastrophic tragedy. Period. It may be a people failure, it may be a technology failure, it may be both. But to your second point, I think that would be the path. First, the FBI has no jurisdiction in investigating, proposed or would-be school shooters. They do have some narrow jurisdiction to support the local law enforcement response in an active shooter situation. So the option, in my mind, would be having this clear, convincing evidence from somebody close to Cruz. They should have packaged that up. It should have gone to Miami, the Miami office, and it should have been delivered to state and local law enforcement having jurisdiction over that school. The systems failed that community, failed this school, and in ways failed this child, Cruz. He's an adult now. Probably failed him all along. We've heard reports of DCFS having multiple visits and having the wrong assessment. Police being out there dozens of times, perhaps having the wrong assessments.
But let me ask you something, Ron, before I let you go. How often does this happen, that these many wires are tripped? So is this the sort of thing, as an FBI person, you say, oh, we get those kind of messages every day? Or is a message like this that is, a credible assessment of somebody who they know well, does that happen a lot, what we saw here?
Tips from the community do trigger new investigations, whether it's criminal, particularly terror, cyber investigations. That happens all the time. Here, this was an FBI failure, and the director's going to have to account for it.
You think the director should go?
No, I don't. If this was
should
a reflection
the person who was
of his
supposed to
leadership,
pass this along to local law enforcement go?
I think the failure was in West Virginia at the tip line. We don't know what the details are yet. And I think if it's a people failure, then Christopher Wray needs to take the right personnel action. That may be one person fired, maybe multiple people fired. Got to find facts first.
Ron Hosko, always good to have you, sir. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.